Hi guys, so about 5.5 years ago I started this channel and the first thing I ever made was this little diorama. And as you can see, some good old little Gretchen on this. So yeah, I started this channel mainly because obviously it's the second lockdown and to stop myself from going insane by doing nothing, yeah, I started painting miniatures. Well, I say painting miniatures, as you can see, very basically painted. Didn't really enjoy painting them, but I liked making the whole diorama as a whole. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into making things and this channel. This is said diorama, which I really enjoyed making. But the painting of miniatures, yeah, I hated it. So fast forward 5.5 years, and yeah, I love painting miniatures. I mean, I'm literally painting miniatures every single day. So I thought I would buy the box of was it Runford and Gretchen, and then repaint them or paint new ones in the way that I'm painting miniatures these days, and just to sort of compare, well, just how they look. So as I say, in the past, if you go back to at least sort of 4 years ago, you'll hear me say in every video where I paint a miniature. I hate painting miniatures. And I say, obviously, back then I did used to make sort of more dioramas for miniatures rather than obviously just painting miniatures, well, on their own. Whereas I say nowadays, yeah, I love painting miniatures. And you've seen a couple of my recent videos. I'm going through my pile of opportunity. So when I say I actually bought this little box, I have had this for quite some time, sitting on my shelf, waiting and ready to be painted. And that's obviously what I'm going to be doing now. So again, to mention, no, everything I am painting that is on my pile of opportunity, I am going to put it on eBay. So if you want to get hold of some miniatures that I paint, I will leave the link down below, and you can go and check out well what's currently on there. So with the miniatures, yeah, I do drill out their barrels. Well, I say drill out. I don't like using the drill because I always find I can never get it bang in the center. Whereas using the tip of the scalpel blade here, yeah, I always find I can make it a much nicer sort of round little circle, little hole in the guns. Obviously, this is one of these stages where you don't need to drill out the barrels, but I do prefer them, well, having a hole in the end. So it's a case of just doing that on all of them and then priming them in good old black, as we see here. And then, yeah, the tried and tested method that I absolutely love doing, dry brushing with white. Obviously, this just helps the contrast paints that I'm going to be using to work even better because there are going to be, obviously, already lighter areas and darker areas. As I say, it literally is because of contrast paints, whether it's the Army Painter speed paints, Green Stuff World dipping inks, or even some of the Citadel contrast paints. Well, I haven't got any at the moment. Whatever I use, yeah, that's kind of why and what's changed in the painting, and the fact that I now love painting because it's quick, it's fast, it's easy, and the results are great. So stick around to the end because I will do a comparison of the a couple of the figures, just so you can sort of see the difference in how they look, and the fact that you can paint so quick. I know in the past when I did paint miniatures, yeah, it used to take me ages, at least twice, maybe three times as long to paint one miniature as it does now. And the results I used to get back then weren't very good. I almost hated every single minute of painting miniatures because I knew I wasn't going to like the results. So talking of painting the miniatures, yeah, I was recently sent a new brush by Golden Maple. I will leave links down below. But this one's a bit different from your typical kind of paintbrush because, as you can see, the actual paint handle doesn't have the brush on it. The brushes come separately, so you get a little tube, and there's four brushes in there. But as you can see, though, it's very ergonomically designed. This little paintbrush. Now, this video isn't sponsored by them, but they did obviously kindly send me this for me to sort of give a little go and a little try. I've since painted several other sort of boxes of miniatures with this brush, and yeah, I would certainly recommend it. The handle is just so nice and easy to hold, and it is quite an interesting system. The fact you do obviously have the actual painting brushes separate, and you just sort of swap them out basically, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the handle, this is the bit. Say, I love this. It does just feel like a pen, and it feels so nice and well comfy, really. So painting these, yeah, honestly, guys, it's I love it. I love painting miniatures because I say the results now are decent. Again, as I'm always going to say, my level of painting is tabletop ready. Yeah, I'm never going to be a pro painter. never going to win sort of like big awards for painting things like the Golden Demon and all that. But I love the results that I get. And I say the fact that these are tabletop ready. Although I was thinking about that the other day, that there's actual term tabletop ready. Again, this is where painting, we all have our different ideas of what we like and don't like. So just because someone likes it doesn't mean someone else will. But I guess tabletop, it kind of covers everything and basically means you turn something from being grey into, well, being painted. So yeah, love it. So obviously batch painting these little fellas, real quick, real easy. It didn't take too long. I need to time myself. I needed to get a little clock, put it down, and yeah, just time myself when I'm painting. Well, I think the problem there is I do have a lot of projects on the go because I like the variety of painting, well, all sorts, or making all sorts. As I do have quite a few videos coming up with some more terrain pieces, which is pretty cool. So as you see there, I do like to try and get all the paints out that I'm going to use in a project. Also, they're all nice and ready. Although sometimes I get the paints out, and then when I'm painting it or partway through painting it, I do kind of change my mind. So yeah, metallic colors, these go on a treat. But as always, with any of the metallic colors I use, I will use a wash afterwards, just because as good as these metallic colors are, they're almost too good. As in, there's no real contrast in them. They are perfectly colorful, but flat. Obviously shiny because they are metallic colors. And as you can see, yeah, well, again, one of the things that I'd like to mention, whenever I do get paints, I do like painting the lid. I mean, you can print out like bottle tops or whatever they're called and paint them. But I find it just easier to actually paint the lid of the bottle, and it shows you exactly the color you're going to get. With most of the paints, the color is similar. Although this sand golem, as you can see though, from the label to the actual color on the top is quite different. So yeah, it is worth painting the tops, just so you know exactly what you're going to get. So yeah, the silver and the copper there, they go on a treat. And I say, obviously there will be some washes towards the end. So yeah, guys, you will see my previous video where I did actually show my pile of opportunity. It's a load of boxes, primarily Warhammer stuff, whether it's Kill Teams, Blood Bowl, or just your sort of Warhammer 40k. I am going to be going through them all, getting them painted. And I say, because they have literally been sitting on the shelf for at least 3 years. I've had these boxes. I mean, one good thing, I've not brought any new miniatures. So I'm not as bad as some people that have their pile of opportunity and keep buying them. I kind of stopped. I think that's more running out of money more than anything. So yeah, so guys, check out my eBay because it would be good if you do want to buy something. It'd be great because, well, then I will be buying some more grey stuff. And just say, I'm also starting to take on commission work. I'll talk about that more in the next video because the next video is, well, it's my first commission or first proper commission work. No surprise, I'm painting some orcs up because obviously I do love the old green skins. So yeah, check out my next video for more details of, well, how you can contact me and how we go about, or how I'm going to be going about doing commission work for the first time. I mean, people have been asking me for years about doing it, and I've always sort of said no. But now it's a yes. Anyway, I digress from this video because I'm just waffling on. Yeah, eyes. I must admit, this is still the one bit I don't like doing, mainly because it's so tricky. I do need to get some new glasses. I must admit my glasses aren't the best. But yeah, painting eyes is still something I don't enjoy at all because, yeah, I make people look cross-eyed. So people wearing helmets absolutely love those kind of miniatures. So yeah, as I say, doing the wash is kind of like one of the last things I do to the miniature. This just ties everything in. And I say primarily just over the metallic sort of things that I do the wash. But if these guys did have normal skin, then I would have done it over that as well. So basing, yeah, I'm still keeping this quite simple, although I am going to be trying out some new basing techniques coming up in some videos, so keep an eye out for those. Yes, so guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, as I will be, well, I'm going to be doing a lot more painting of Warhammer stuff again. I still do love the pillage stuff, well, and just miniatures in general. But yeah, I say, most of my pile of opportunity is obviously Warhammer, so there's going to be a lot of that. So basing, as I say, keeping it simple. Yeah, a bit of PVA glue, and then this kind of very fine cork looking stuff to make it look like he's, well, standing in a pile of dirt, I guess. And then it's the case of doing that to all of them. And there we go. Last thing to do, I am now doing the matte varnish over everything. So this is more because obviously I am now going to be selling the miniatures that I paint, and I want to make sure that the paint doesn't rub off. So using this obviously just seals everything in, and it seals the base as well. So there we go. Here's my Runford and Gretchen newly painted miniatures, which I absolutely love. And I say it's such a simple, easy process to paint, but you get half decent results, which is pretty cool. So I did have a little rummage around. I couldn't find the diorama I originally made, but I did find a couple of the miniatures, and this is him. So this is the very first miniature I painted for this channel. Yeah, didn't enjoy painting him, hated painting him, and the results, well, they're pretty flat. Whereas nowadays, just by using contrast paints, you can get such a big difference. And the fact that it took at least half the time to paint the guy on the left as it did the guy on the right. And obviously the guy on the left, he doesn't look too bad. Guy on the right, yeah, we'll put him away again. So guys, don't forget to check out my eBay link down below if you do want to buy these miniatures, and contact me for more details of commission work. Well, like I say, I will talk more about that in the next video. So guys, big shout out, thank you to all my lovely sponsors. Obviously been with me quite some time, a lot of these guys, so I really appreciate the loyalty there, and obviously helping support the channel. It does mean so much because, yeah, here I am 5.5 years later. Okay guys, I'm going to stop waffling. You take care. Love you all. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments. Bye now.